You look puzzled already, Jimmy.
I'm looking in. I'm just looking at page 6, and it says Whoopi takes to the air, and it's Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
They taped The View in L.A., and she had to take a bus back and forth to L.A. because she's so afraid to fly. Like, I had a fear of flying for many years, and I can't. I just can't comprehend still being that afraid of it. That you take a bus to Los Angeles.
I'm afraid to fly, but not so afraid to fly to take a bus from New York to L.A. That's when my fear goes away.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I will drive to Buffalo or Rochester to see Brother Weeze, because you can do that. But a bus all the way to L.A. because you're afraid to fly? Nah.
Doesn't
no
make
way.
sense. John Madden's like that. On the NFL,
yeah.
he will not fly. He will take a bus everywhere.
You know what? John Madden should be, afraid of his diet. Because he lives in our neighborhood, or used to. I haven't seen him in the last year or two. And that guy walks in and out of these restaurants eating the most greasy crap. He should be worried about his heart and stop this, fear of flying thing.
It's always odd to me that people, like, when you have a phobia, like, for years I was like, I can't fly.
Yeah.
I'll never be, my career's going to get injured because I can't get on a plane. And now you start doing it, you're like, what the fuck was I scared of?
Yeah.
Like, I was in L.A. recently, I'm like, I wasn't scared once, or maybe for 5 minutes during the 6-hour flight. And to be that afraid where you got to get on a bus and travel for 2.5 days. So, Jesus, what
was it 2.5 days?
That's how cross-country take. I mean, nonstop, they probably have drivers.
Yeah.
That
enough with the music. We get it. We're outrageous. Jesus. Let's start our broadcast. Very important stuff.
I know.
Right.
And I'm starting off like a fucking Gossip Girl. Did you hear that Whoopi won't fly? But yeah, she will not get on a plane. She flew to London. Now she took a private plane to London to see some musical of Sister Act.
Yeah, but the private planes, they said, are the ones that go down.
Well, she, I guess, wanted.
I mean, look at the track record on those things lately.
But how could a 52-hour bus ride seem feasibly safer in your head than a 3-hour flight or 4-hour? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the famous, it's more dangerous to drive than fly. So many opportunities for that bus to careen off a cliff or something.
Dude, it's the illusion of control.
Right.
You could always say, "Stop! I want to get off." Like with a plane, you're just helpless. But with a bus, you can technically go, "Stop! Let's just stop this." And she flew private, but the thing was she had a doctor with her. They said armed with sedatives in case she panicked. That's the advantage of being an Oscar winner. You can fucking get away with that.
You could get Club Soda Kenny to do that for you, Jimmy.
Yeah, just talk to me.
It's time for your sedative, Mr. Norton. I hope it was a local bus.
Yeah, she had stopped like fucking 6 times before she got to Pennsylvania.
Right.
Yeah, was it a Capital Trailway?
The Peter Pan fucking $8 round trip. Yeah, man.
We got to welcome Joe DeRosa to the show today.
Thank you for having me, man.
And before it gets back to Anthony. Anthony's out today. His grandma died.
Yeah,
and he's at a funeral today. Joe is sitting in Anthony's seat.
Yes,
he just has to. This place is too small.
It's better because for a triangle to work, it's just easier to look at Joe on the left and you there than to look at Joe to the right. It's just there's no reason for Ant's seat to be empty.
I mean, the whole place is panicking because tomorrow we got Doug Stanhope, Kevin Smith, and somebody else, and we don't know where to put all these guys. So I think they're going to set up microphones in front of those little couches we have in here.
You probably put 2 guys at the counter here.
Yeah,
it is between where Anthony and I normally sit, and in between where Danny and I are. You probably get 2 guys.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Fucking creepy and homoerotic. God forbid one of them has tits. There's fucking 6 more dudes in here. Bunch of fags.
Well, I won't touch any of these buttons he has over here.
No, you can.
Yeah, touch one of the buttons.
Here's mine.
Just
can I just touch one?
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't do anything.
It's not plugged in.
Why isn't it plugged in?
I guess it's not turned on.
Dude, I've been asking for one of those machines for 6 years.
You can't have one.
What's the one that goes, "You're going to be okay"? I want to put.
There's different banks. Look at the templates.
Oh boy,
you're not going to be able to figure that out in one sitting, Joe.
I'll just push one of these.
Yeah,
just hit any button. Just try
push a random one.
Ready?
No. It's still booting up.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's still booting up.
Oh boy, it's got to boot up. Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, once it's booted up, I'm going to press the one that says.
Joe DeRosa filling in for Anthony today. Anthony's at a funeral. Those are always fun.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I hate funerals. I mean, everyone does. But I'll tell you why I hate them. because you know your own sadness you could kind of control, and then you go in the room and everyone else's sadness brings you down to a level that you had no intention of going down to. You know, the relative that falls down on the ground and the other one that is like, you know, crawling her way into the coffin.
Yeah.
Take me with you. It's like, this already sucks. Do you have to make it worse for everybody else?
No. Now you're just being embarrassing.
Right.
Just pull it together. I'm so out of touch with my emotions. I go to a funeral, and the whole time I'm like, I don't understand why I'm not sad right now. Why am I not crying?
Yeah.
And then I have that moment at the cemetery where I have a complete breakdown and need like my mom to hold me. I'm like, oh, there's all that suppressed emotion.
Yeah, that forever thing really creeps you out.
Oh my God.
I remember my grandma, I think she was like 92 when she passed, 90, somewhere around there. Same thing. I was cool until we got to the cemetery, and then we're in this like beautiful, I don't even know what it's called in the cemetery, where they put the casket before they put it in the ground. It's this beautiful thing, and everyone gathers around and puts the rose on the coffin, the final thing. And then me and my brother, because we're pretty damn curious about just everything going on in the world and life, we're like, wow, what happens after this point, right? And the priest is there is like, this now concludes the ceremony for your dead grandma, meaning go home. And now the coffin's just sitting there. We're like, screw that. So we kind of hung out, and they wheel it out the back, and then you see the hole that is freshly dug, and it's a bunch of Mexicans, in this case it was, with shovels, like looking at their like watches, like, can we get this over with? We want to do lunch.
Yeah.
You realize it's just their job to get this dumb coffin in the ground and get some dirt over it so they can move on to their next task.
That's a bummer, isn't it?
Yeah, you think it's some glorious thing that happens after you leave the cemetery, but no, they're pretty much and you know they're not going to be you know careful with the coffin. Yeah. They're going to drop that thing.
Yeah, they drop the one end in first.
Oh, I'm sure. And then your grandma's got a crooked neck for eternity.
When my grandfather died, he was in the Knights of Columbus, and when he died, they sent the Knights of Columbus to the church service part of the funeral to give him, his send off, and everybody, the whole family was like, it's going to be really nice and this is really special, whatever. And the Knights of Columbus came in and they gave this speech for my grandfather, and they go, we will miss and honor your memory, Joe De La Rosa. And my fucking family was livid. My uncle's in the lobby of the church. They can't get the fucking name right. Jesus Christ. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, it was brutal. But then they did the, you want to talk about getting choked up. He was in World War II. They did the military salute at the grave. And this soldier who didn't even know, he never even met my grandfather, did the speech and the salute. He started crying because he got so worked up about like the honor, you know what I mean, of the soldier and everything. And it was brutal. That's when I broke down.
Yeah, that's heavy stuff. And then they hand the flag.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
In our families, they handed it to my mom because my dad was a military guy. Yeah, that's a moment.
Yeah, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's hardcore, dude.
Nothing but respect for those guys. Because they didn't know my father, but they played right through to the end.
Well, there's something so impressive, too, about a guy that just, like, to see those soldiers, like, to see somebody that believes in something that much and is that passionate about it, you're like, you don't see that very often, obviously. No. I don't see it in myself. I lose interest in things. I'll drift off halfway through this conversation.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, passionate about furthering the agenda of a fascist regime.
Man.
Oh, boy. Did Bill Hicks just walk in here?
People who just knee-jerk react against the military. It's like, what?
Hey, before we move on, and instant feedback, some of you guys that instant feedback from your cell phones, leave your name so you get a little credit. This guy writes, we were talking about being fat and stuff, right? I love this one. I was at a diner that had a dessert that was 12 scoops of ice cream and 12 fudge brownies. And here's the kicker. If you eat the whole thing, you get a free poster.
Wow. The poster is you jerking off while hot women run the opposite direction. talking.
What's the poster of?
I don't know, man. If the guy could, give me a part 2 on that.
Probably Leonard Lawrence, like on the toilet in Full Metal Jacket, because that's what you should do.
It's probably just a poster of the dessert. Congratulations, you ate this.
Oh my God Almighty! They should put that poster over your front door, like the fucking. Oh fuck! Never mind.
Go ahead, start over.
What was that Jewish holiday? The fucking Passover, where they put the blood. That's what I was going for, and I lost it. And fuck it.
Oh my God! Stephen S. from Bayshore. I'm not even sure if he's going for the joke here because this is part funny and part true. Hey, Ope, have you ever whispered about another relative? And said, hey, she's ruining the funeral. Yes, I have.
You've actually said those words?
Well, not the one in the casket.
Because there's always one that just brings you down to a level that you had no intention of going to.
Yeah.
I had a string of people die in my family, and, you mourn privately after all that's done in general, but some people, they have to let it all out right there in front of everybody.
You know what the worst is? Do you ever, the people that get that fake sentiment at a moment like that where they're just standing there going, life, man.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
This sucks. Let's go get wasted. This sucks.
In my family, there are the cool members of the family that are in the back, while the body's up front, and they're in the back of the room making jokes and just having a good old time, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, I love the ones that try to be so positive. They're like, someone's dead. They're like, why are we all so sad? Because they're dead, asshole. We get it. They're in a better place. Who cares? They're not in a better place. The Mexicans are dropping them in the fucking hole.
Yeah.
They're in a terrible place. They're dead.
Well, we got some guys that worked at a cemetery. I don't even know if we want to go down this road.
Yeah.
Well, of course we do. Let's go to Pittsburgh and say hi to Tim. Pittsburgh, a big O&A market. What's up, Tim?
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Pretty good. Joe DeRosa filling in for Anthony, doing a great job today. I just want to say, Joe.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, I used to work in a cemetery, and I got a fucked up story if you want to hear it.
Sure.
All right. So the wife is grieving, and this is all just so bad. Everybody's crying. I'm used to it, whatever. Let's throw him in the fucking ground and let's go to lunch. We're lowering him in to the ground, into the vault, because the casket goes in the cement vault, and the fucking straps break. The fucking coffin falls down there, and there's an arm hanging out, and everybody loses it. Loses it. My boss looks at me. I'm just in college. He's like, get down there. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean get down there? He's like, get in there, motherfucker. Look at them. They're losing it. I had to go in there and put the arm back in. Swear to God.
Oh, my God.
You talk about having a bad day? Oh.
That's all it would take, too, an arm popping out of one of those effing coffins.
Oh my
It was the worst. The widow lost it, dude. She lost it.
I don't mean to laugh.
All right, boys, punching out. Have a good day.
Good job, Tim. Let's go to John in Indiana. John.
Yeah, they make sure you're good and dead. They also put water inside the coffin there to make, the level of ground. So, that way you fucking drown if they're not dead already.
Wait, they put water where? No way.
They put water in a hole. Yes, to settle the ground. They fill the hole full of water. If you
All right, and then that water kind of goes into the earth.
Did you hear what his explanation, though? In case you're not already dead, you'll drown.
Right. All right. Thank you, John. Let's go to New Hampshire.
This is a
Ken.
humane way of doing it.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
Not too bad, Opie. How you doing?
Pretty good, Ken.
Yeah, I had the same story. Like the guy before was talking about how the arm fell out.
Yeah.
We were doing a removal where it was a veteran getting moved to a veteran cemetery. So you have to dig down into the coffin. The guy had been in the hole for 8 years, cement box. So the cement's it's pretty much just like clay. It's really soft. My boss goes, hop down in the hole. I jump down in the hole. I go right through the box, right through the coffin. I'm standing on the guy's chest. I crush his chest. My boss goes, Jesus Christ, thank God the fucking family's not here.
Can I tell you how great Carlin was? His bit about how fucking the ritual of burying the dead. We have a homeless problem. He's like, just get rid of the graveyards. He's like, it's an old idea. Just plow those motherfuckers into the river and fucking use the land to put people. It's a great bit, and it really is.
Is it a long bit? We should play that going into break.
I honestly don't remember. It might just be a line he used. I don't remember where it was.
Do a little research, see if it's a little bit we could play, because nothing wrong with playing some Carlin.
It is creepy. Like my mom's real. I'm come from an Italian family. My mom's real big on like, let's go visit the grave, and I never go with her. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's weird. Like, it's just weird.
I go every once in a while to my dad's site, and it's like, all right, now what? And he didn't believe in that either. So I guess I got that from him, because he told me he never went to his own dad's grave. So I'm like, why am I at your grave then?
And every time you go to a grave, you have to do that obligatory tap the head stuff. I miss you, buddy. You know, like you have to do all that. You have to have the speech. It's just, it's like, it's awkward.
Do what Forrest Gump did. Just throw them in the backyard under a tree, fucking mosey out, chat with them, and go inside, take a nice fucking coffee shit, and go on with your day. I don't ever go to graves. It's creepy. Just think about the person. You don't need to stand on their corpse. Just think about them.
Yeah, exactly. And tell a story about how a candle blew out and you knew that it was them.
Should we?
I knew they were in the room with me. Really? Well, none of the window was open. Fucking shit. Shut up. We weren't in the room with you. Wouldn't that creep you out if you were having a moment and grandmother blew out the kill? Because then I'd be starting to think like she was in the car every time I got blown by a fucking prostitute. She was there every time I clicked on questionable websites or.
Did I tell you
ran
about
out of steam in a joke like there?
Did I tell a story on the air when when we were going through my dad's wake? It was in a funeral home where they had 2 or 3 other wakes going on, but like ours ended, then the other one started, or somehow they were able to kind of organize this whole thing. And I was bored because I had to be there the whole time. Had to. Sorry, Dad. I mean, he probably would have only done a couple hours himself. That's where I got it from. And he didn't believe in all that. But I started wandering around the funeral home, and there was an empty room with all the chairs set up, coffin in the front of the room. Walked up, once again, being curious about crap. Walked to the front of the freaking room. There's Grandma. Not my grandma, someone's grandma, but the stereotypical grandma, the cotton candy hair that's kind of bluish, pearls, really nice like Sunday outfit on, just laid out. The casket is open, waiting for the freaking wake. I lean in to take a closer look. Swear to God, the lights go off in the room.
Oh, Jesus.
And to this day, I really need to know why the lights went off.
Oh, my God.
I'm wondering if it was someone. I mean, I got some jokesters in my family, and if one of them was around, they could have maybe, quickly turned the lights off and on. But I'm like, what the fuck is this about?
Did you grab her tits? That'd be the greatest story ever. If the lights went out and it could be a ghost and you just grabbed her tits.
That's fucking hilarious.
Like, I know what you want.
My grandma, when my grandfather died, I had to sleep. I had to stay at my grandmom's house for like a week for all the stuff, whatever. And I had to sleep in the bedroom I used to sleep in when I was a kid, when I'd stay at her house.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it freaked me out, and I've never gotten over it. And it's already sad and weird because he's dead and everything. And I'm laying in the bed trying to go to sleep, and I roll over, and I'm all creeped out already. I roll over. She moved the chair that he always sat in into the fucking room, and it's directly like in my eye line next to the bed. And I'm like, so now I'm starting to think I'm going to wake up. He's going to be sitting in the goddamn chair, and I was like, thanks, Nana. This week wasn't traumatic enough.
Yeah, you had to make it worse.
We're in this fucking poltergeist situation right now.
Okay, yeah, let's take a few more of these morbid calls. Highway from North Carolina.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Highway.
The worst thing is when they play a song right before they take the body to the gravesite, and all the families there listening. My grandparents ruined "Everybody Hurts" by REM. No one can listen to that song now.
But why even? It's amazing. Like, why play that stupid song?
Yeah, why bring you down even? I'm not a fan of bringing you down further than you already are. Like, there's music that could accent all this stuff and make you feel way worse. There's nothing positive coming out of playing "Everybody Hurts" at a funeral.
One of the worst, saddest songs ever already.
Know what song I can't do is Time of, what is it called? The Green Day song, Time of Your Life?
Yep.
Yeah. Or whatever it's called. Yeah,
What's
everyone
that song?
knows the song.
I don't know it.
I can't even hear it. Seriously, for real. Because same thing, they ruined it for me.
All I could think of is
This is at a funeral, think of this.
But think about how hip his parents are. They're listening to REM.
Well.
My parents would have played some Glenn Miller.
But why not play something a little, like, uplift? This is not uplifting at
Pennsylvania
a funeral.
polka.
Right.
And then everybody runs through and
Right.
punches the body in the face.
If you're having a threesome, this song isn't going to bring you up.
Oh, Jesus
It's
Christ.
going to bring you
Could you imagine, dude? Just playing this song. You got two chicks naked on your couch. Right. Hold on, girls. I'm going to set the mood.
Right.
And you just start sharpening a knife to it.
The hottest naked broads ever. And there you are, crying like a baby. Everybody hurts. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves?
I know.
Oh, now I got to hang up.
All right. Yeah, all right.
I'm sorry, bro.
And then like, this is the final song. That's the other thing about when someone dies, you walk around like a zombie for 3 days. You're a zombie. If you want to know how a zombie lives, when someone dies that's close to you, you're gonna find out because that's all you do. All right, now it's time to go to my aunt's house for the 6-foot hero and pasta dish. All right, now we have to go and visit where she used to live. All right, now we're going to go to my mom's house. Like, you just wander around for 3 days like a zombie.
That is the only good part about a funeral is you get that carnival food afterwards. Right. Like hot roast beef and meatballs. Yeah, that's all right.
Usually get together for a meal and make believe that the person didn't die. All of a sudden, everything's happy again. It's just the dumbest thing. I hate it.
Yeah, it sucks.
I hate it.
What's your ethnicity, by the way?
Yeah, what are you? I didn't know what.
I'm a mutt.
I'm gonna guess you're a little German Irish,
tiny Irish.
Like
a lot of people think I'm very Irish, but I have barely any Irish in me. Unfortunately, I got a lot of Polish. Quarter Polish is the big one.
The reason I asked
German. Aunt would be proud of that. Little Irish. I have a grandfather that's from Canada, so whatever the hell he was. Yeah.
Do you guys do a lot of? Do you do like the drinking thing? Because Irish and Italian after a funeral,
not really.
Like you just get
loaded. Not a lot of drinkers in my immediate family. The uncles, well, they're another story. So, yeah, they rock.
Well, yeah, it helps after a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of takes the sting off.
Well, the phones are lit. Do you want to keep doing
Absolutely,
this?
man. I'll talk about this shit all day.
You tell me which one you want. How to bury father twice. Casket fell sideways.
I say that's a good one.
All right, let's go to Ty in Atlanta. Ty?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, buddy.
My father-in-law at his funeral, he was a big dude. One of the straps broke. The casket fell in sideways. They couldn't get it all the way in. They had to take it back out. Well, then it wouldn't fit in the vault. So my wife and her sister had to have 2 funerals, and we had to go back the next day and do it all over again.
Oh, my God.
Say they were a wreck.
Yeah.
And then the guys that did it didn't really seem to give a shit one way or another. They were just trying to get out of there.
No, it's their job. We all have jobs, and we just want to get the job done. We don't think of the emotional part of it.
Did you laugh? Did people laugh? I mean, like something like that could be horrific, or everybody could just laugh.
Well, everyone was pretty much gone, and it was just the immediate family around.
Yeah.
The girls didn't take it too well.
No.
Dude,
and then the next day wasn't a whole lot better, Now you talk about it, not a big deal. They can laugh about it, but at the time it was pretty traumatic for them.
Sure. Yeah, right on.
Watching other people sad makes me sad. Like if I'm in a funeral or wake, that's the worst part. Like there are people who are just not even being drama whores.
That's what I'm
saying. Who are just fucking that's the worst.
But I get pissed. I'm like, I don't need to see this.
Yeah,
go outside.
It's brutal. It's almost like, is this necessary right now? I mean, you got to grieve and you got to respect what just happened, but is it necessary?
Yeah.
It's almost like a wedding. It gets to a point where it's almost gaudy, where you're like, this is too much. We're indulging too much in this thing right now. The wake was enough. We all came out. We looked at the body. We went up. We knelt there. You go down the line and shake the hands. That's enough. You don't have to go to the cemetery and watch them lower a casket into the ground.
Patrick K. from Texas. Oh, well, the screen just went dead. Hey, Opie, I wonder if someone tossed a rosin bag on Mark Fidrich's mound of dirt he's under now.
You don't know
who Mark Fidrich is?
I don't know why that fell flat. That is a funny joke.
Do you know who Mark Fidrich is? I think we're hoping for the Joe DeRosa laugh. You got a good laugh. You should have laughed there.
Who was Mark?
Mark Fidrich died early this week. You don't know who Mark Fidrich is? He had one of the greatest rookie seasons in baseball history. Are you a sports guy?
I don't follow sports at all.
All right, that's why.
I'm sorry.
Mark Fidrich comes out of nowhere. What happened? Oh,
No, I was going to
hit a button.
Oh, you're going to try to hit a button?
No, but I was going to. I didn't want you to. I was just saying. When I was just signaling when you say this, I'm going to hit a button.
Okay.
But sorry.
Mark Fidrich. I believe, rookie season went 19-9. He was a sensation. He would talk to the ball. He would pat the mound. He was a lunatic. And baseball fell in love with this guy. And then what happened after that, he just sucked. I think he had an injury or something.
He must have got hurt.
Yeah, and then he only made it 5 years in the major leagues. After a 19-9 first season, his career record was, I think, 29-19. So he went 10-10 over the next 4 years. Complete disaster. Then he tried to come back with the Red Sox organization, 82 or 83. I sound like Mad Dog. I got all this in my head. But he didn't make the comeback, okay? So he retires, and he's like a truck operator in Northborough, Massachusetts. And now, they need his truck because of all the potholes in the Massachusetts area. And he's under his dump truck getting it ready for the season, and something went horribly wrong, and Mark Fidrich is no longer with us.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
My thing is this, though. Like, how much did he make? Because if it was... Sometimes you hear about those sports stories that suck.
Yeah.
And then you figure, look, if the guy got hurt, let's say he made... Say $6 million. Well, probably back then that's a lot of money for a young guy. They didn't get paid $6 million up front.
Mm-hmm.
But if you made $5 or $6 million bucks, and 30 years ago, if you invested it right, all right, you got a great life after that. But I guess Don Mattingly, when Mattingly made $19.5 million for 5 years, that was considered an outrageous salary. So I imagine Fidrich didn't get near that.
Do you want to kiss me?
Fuck Joe.
It was the button.
It didn't fit, but yet somehow I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you wanted me to cover the buttons. I don't know what it said. I'm not looking at
all right,
all.
well,
I'm not looking at all.
That was just awkward for everyone, though. Maybe Mark owned that trucking company. Maybe that was his thing. Maybe
maybe he owned the truck, or
maybe he invested his money in that. You'd like to think he did. I loved that guy when I was growing up. I'm like, this guy's a lunatic.
He'd yell at the ball. Yeah, he was a weird guy.
Yeah, look up some video of Mark
The
Fidrich
Bird.
if you care.
Was he definitely broke, or was he just doing the truck thing to keep himself busy?
I don't
Some
know
guys are
financially
like
where he
that,
was
you know
at.
what I
I'm
mean?
not sure.
Well, yeah. He probably didn't have a big contract if he, was a rookie. Maybe he signed for a couple nice years. Then memorabilia. He probably did all right for himself.
Yeah, signings. But that's why those guys charge to sign. People think they're being dicks. The older guys, like when I never mind when those older guys charge because they never made fucking $8 million or $9 million in a year, and they were better than half of these douchebags playing now.
Sure. Rookie year, he made $16,000.
Ooh,
no,
wow!
Stop.
Maybe. Hey, rookie back in what was that? 1979. I'm guessing.
I think he made his comeback in 82 or 83. All right, yeah, late 70s. Late 70s? 76?
76?
16,000.
I was 8 years old when that
That's
fucking
amazing. That's like the money you make when you start doing comedy. And it's the same thing. You have this idea of this business. If I can only get in and make money. And then you make money, you're like, oh, really? It was $20,000? You know what I mean? Or what,
Well, what is that today, though? What is $16,000 today? Is there a way to look on... I can find that. Convert that, because it's like... I'm guessing it's like 40 grand today. It still is a shit.
I was going to guess 45.
Oh, Joe, let's not quarrel.
I'm going to guess 37,500.
Really? I like that you threw the 500.
Come on, Dan.
That was
It's amazing
good.
Danny can pull up fucking like if you mention like a fucking an African hemorrhoid, he's got a photo of it in 30 seconds with a simple math equation. I got no idea.
Let's challenge Danny with that one today. African hemorrhoid after you find the answer to the Mark Fidrich question.
That'll probably be way easier than this.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I accidentally set grandfather's graveyard on fire. In Japan, when you cremated, family takes the bones. My friend was buried in the wrong grave. You tell me which one you want here, Jimmy. My family has fights at funerals. I hate when they play taps.
Let's go with the fights, because taps I don't mind. Taps is a military thing. Let's go with or cop.
I don't mind taps either because you're right, military thing.
Yeah,
that's when you take the pop song that it's going to bring everyone down.
Yeah, taps is respectable.
We had funeral home cut man's legs off because he was too long for coffin.
That's a good one.
That's
all right. Yeah, because you don't want to wreck up the symmetry of the cemetery.
That's an episode of Tales from the Crypt. I don't.
You're not buying it?
No.
All right, let's
that's
find
an episode
out.
Of Tales from the Crypt.
Jack, South Carolina.
Hey, fellas.
Welcome aboard, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
This is your best show yet in the new studio, I just want to say. But anyways, hey, listen, yeah, this guy died. He was 6'7". This happened in Allendale, South Carolina, so you can look it up. 6'7", and it turns out that the casket that they bought wasn't long enough. So unbeknownst to the family, the funeral home cut his legs at the ankle and at the calf. and just put his shoes on his feet and then buried him. Oh, and then had the funeral and everything, and then buried him. And they exhumed his body. This happened back in 2004. They just exhumed his body, and it turned they cut his legs off so he would fit in the casket.
But why'd they exhume the body? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's.
And the name of the funeral home was the Cave Funeral Home. And they did it because I guess it's like desecrating a body or something. Like
you know
that.
what? You get him in a box and fucking throw dirt on him.
Is there a worse sentence than exhumed the body? Every time you hear about a body being exhumed,
Yeah.
and you see like the backhoe in a cemetery, some guy's been dead for 30 years, and they need to exhume the body.
Yeah,
And the guy was a preacher.
Anytime they exhume a body, they're looking for traces of semen.
Right,
Something.
just-
I have the
They had
answer.
to- yes,
And now this
George.
guy's just throwing out weird facts. Guy's a preacher.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir, for calling. And a Democrat. All right. You got
All
it.
right,
We buy it. It wasn't a Tales from the Dark
Yeah,
Side.
he had bunions, sir.
He's now walking around like a go. All right, will you go home now, please?
How much was it, Dan?
Well, according to this inflation calculator, 16,076 would roughly be about 60,000 in 2008.
Okay. Whoa. That's still shitty because right now, thanks to Travis traipsing in, minimum 2008 baseball salary, $390. $390,000 is the minimum you can make thanks to the fucking baseball union.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Can we go with
Why?
the exhume the body a little more? I just need to. I don't know. I don't know where to go with this, but
Well, one body they should have exhumed to shut a lot of people up, or maybe they didn't because they didn't feel they needed to, was the Kennedy body. I mean, because there's rumors now, because there's always like what happened to the brain of the president, where is it?
Right.
And then there's rumors that there was another private service held at night where they said Bobby Kennedy allegedly put certain things in the casket, and they think that was parts of the body, like the brain and things like that. But they could exhume the body.
I'm a Catholic. In the Catholic faith, don't you have to have the whole body in there?
Well, maybe because it was
Don't they
blown
have-
apart or the autopsy. There might have been a reason. that
Yeah.
they-
Well, the body was in all sorts
Disarray.
of labs. Yeah, it was here and there and everywhere.
Wait, but wasn't that the book that Bilbo Baggins wrote? Wait a minute. You said Bobby Kennedy put pieces of the brain in the
No,
coffin?
he allegedly placed something in the casket with Jack. Well, you know, with the immediate family. There's a private service held for the immediate family.
Yeah,
That's
because
what
they
I
had to
think
look
Dr.
at
Biden said
the
that.
they had to look at the brain and stuff. But who gets the job of exhuming the body?
Oh,
Coroner.
And then you have to open that. That's a horror show that is facing you after that.
That's all mummies are, exhumed bodies. It's like we're just digging up people's relatives and sending them around the world and going, look at this thing wrapped up.
A little more on Fidrich for the sports fans. That was the family owned the trucking company. So after Fidrich, stopped his baseball career, he had to move back to the family farm and the family business.
Yeah, dude, he was
He had
fucking-
such a talent. Proves there's no God.
Didn't coach.
Why would you do that to Mark Fidrich? All he wanted to do was pat his mound and talk of the ball.
Maybe God did him a favor. Maybe he was an average talent and God gave him one good year and said, now go fuck yourself. You've been down under a truck in 30 years.
I like how you spin it.
Now, do you think? I have a question for the two of you.
Sure.
Do you think that exhuming the body, as you asked, who gets to do it, and you say coroner? Do you think the coroner dreads that? Like, dude, this isn't going to be good for anybody, or do you think he's like, dude, you never get to fucking do this. We're going to dig a body
I
up
think they get
today."
excited. I think those creeps enjoy it.
And by the way, you know why it's worse than a mummy? Because a mummy isn't in a Sears suit.
That's a good point.
Mummies have wrappings and gold things.
They
in
look
there.
old and like you can't connect to them. You're
Yeah,
right.
you can't relate to a mummy.
Yeah, they look like your fucking Uncle Murray. Same socks. Mummies don't have socks.
Yeah, you
You're
exhume
right.
the body and the guy has a Mets cap on. It's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
You know.
Look, at least the suit held up.
Yeah.
That's in good shape still.
Right. All right.
They should bury you in fucking like what's the word? Biodegradable clothing, because it is creepy that the clothes survive and you don't. Like the suit they put you in will survive for 1,000 years. I mean, there will be some remnants of the suit there on your skeleton. It's fucking creepy.
You exhume the body of your uncle and he's in a Saturday Night Fever suit because it was in when he died or something.
Out of a coke overdose at Studio 54.
Yeah,
right.
One pinky nail's a little longer than the other ones.
Yeah, the fingernail just keeps growing longer than the other ones, right?
Yeah, that is weird. They should just bury you naked. Fucking bury you naked. Why are they burying you in anything? Why are they wasting a suit That's just going to sit in the ground.
Because you don't want your relative to be cold.
To be cold? Yeah. All right.
Well, you get the weird thoughts. Like, first day at range, you're like, oh, great. A graveyard somewhere getting wet.
Yeah, I guess, and just...
Are we done with this morbid topic?
It's weird.
I wanted to go with the songs a little more, and we had a few, but they had to hang up. Some of the songs that we play to make sure we're even sadder than we are.
I want to be cremated now. I'm so claustrophobic.
That's what my pops went for.
Oh, that's smart, man.
It's weird though because like his bones went one way. He always wanted to like donate his body to science, but by the time he died, it was like,
he's older. Yeah,
the only thing they could really donate was some of his skin and bones. Ugh, so creepy.
I think I might do that. I think I might donate it to science. And,
then you got to die young.
Yeah.
That's for the young.
I very well may. I mean, I'm not taking tip-top care of myself.
Yeah, my pops made it into his 70s, so, what was left for science?
Yeah, my body is already like I'm in my 70s. Even if I died young, they'd be like, what the fuck are we going to do with this?
Looking at you from the side, Joe looks like an accordion in a shirt. It just kind of creeps. And I'm believe you, I have body image issues, so I certainly get it.
Let's go to Scott in Boston. Scott.
Sorry, Joe.
That's okay.
I'm thinking Jimsy might have exhumed a few bodies in his day.
God damn, why didn't I think of that?
I don't know if Jimsy's around today.
It's amazing, Jimsy.
We have Jimsy around?
I always get a kick out of digging him up and bringing the family in.
Why would you bring the family in, Jimsy?
Because they get sad, Sam.
Imagine the clueless coroner bringing the family in, like, oh, you got to check it out. You got to check out what has happened to the body since we buried it. Jesus, just no clue.
It's amazing, all this coroner talk, and I forgot Jimsy existed.
We're still getting used to the new place.
It's the new studio.
I don't think you've done Ted yet. A little Jimsy today.
I've done one Ted line.
We'll get there.
3 days.
My new bit for Twitter is finding Ted businesses.
Oh, that's great.
I got my first one so far, Ted's Auto Body Shop. I tweeted that. Oh, that's my new bit. Don't take it.
Why would I?
Don't take that one.
No, sir. I have 2 bits that I do that are regular, and that's it.
Yeah.
One is my cock ring bit, and the other is Find the Sweet Boy.
Find the Sweet Boy is a good one, actually. You on Twitter there, Joe?
I'm not on the Twitter.
I'm enjoying the Twitter.
You know what? And back to Bobby. My only experience with Twitter was I was at Bobby Kelly's house the same night.
Bobby should be shut down. His Twitter sucks.
He took a picture of me. I'm sitting on the couch. We're working on this idea for a TV show that we want to pitch. And I'm on the couch, and I'm slumped over, typing it for him. And formulating it into sentences that sound above 5-year-old level. You know what I mean? And I'm typing, and he takes the most unflattering picture of me possibly can, and he puts it on Twitter. And he goes, so my fans can see. And then he fucking turns, he just sets up his MacBook and just sits it there. And it's just bing, bing, bing. You know, that noise that goes on. Right. Just insults. He looks like a molester.
Right.
He and I was,
instant insults. Like you needed that, right?
Yeah, and I go,
this is over doing a nice thing. Next thing you know, there's instant insults coming in.
Doing a nice thing for him.
Right.
Putting words like, audacity or whatever into this treatment we're trying to write. Because if he was writing it, it'd be like, these 3 guys kind of know shit. They're fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And I'm trying
You're raising the intellectual level of the project.
You know what? I'm gonna say that I was actually. And, oh, that would burn Bobby up if he heard me say that. But he tweeted, and it was unfair. I'm not on Twitter. I couldn't get him back. And then he goes, well, I'll put myself on. I'll take a picture of myself. I'm like, your fucking friends on Twitter aren't going to trash you. Mm-hmm. And they didn't. They just trashed me the whole time.
There you go.
Well, that's not very nice, Joe. And the fact that I am now putting a picture of you up that I just took.
You guys.
And you were slumped over, too, Joe.
Yeah.
I know.
I saw it going down.
I know it wasn't a great story, but do you have to rub it in by taking a slumped over picture?
No. I'm calling it Joe DeRosa's awfulness.
You know what? I like Joe. So Joe, give me your best look. I am gonna tweet your best look for everybody right now.
Let's make it look like I'm.
What do you want to do? You want to look intellectual? What do you want? You got that? What do you want?
Like I'm
what do you want?
talking
You're
to
slumped a little bit. Your boobies look a little. Yeah, straighten up. There you go. Oh, you look very intellectual, like you're ready to go on a book tour. Is this the picture you want right here? All right, look what I do for you, because I care about you, Joe. Here it comes. All right. And look, before I even send it, do you want me to send that to my followers? No?
God,
All right.
Ran my head to
take
that
two.
glass over
Take
there.
two. This will be on Opie Radio in a mere few moments.
Take it as I'm talking right now while I'm talking like this.
Really?
It'll be good like action
All right.
shot. Like
all right, here we go.
radio,
We're
like-
taking the picture.
You know.
Oof. All right. How about that one, Joe? You like that?
No.
No?
At least
All
on
right.
Twitter one. Just let Jimmy
No.
stand out there.
Nope. One more.
Mine's.
You can't talk. That was a good look, though. All right. Yeah, do that. Well, what's that look called? Because we're on the radio.
It's like I'm about to say something. I'm
something
posing like,
very important.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's try this. Well, that ain't gonna help. All right, hold on. Don't move. All right, how about that, Joe?
Oh God, our Ope. It just stings. What do you think? What's
It's
your
awful.
favorite?
It's
Yeah,
awful.
terrific. Look at that one Jim took of me.
So far, you've gotten only 3 remarks: just awful,
Yeah.
old swivel shoulders, and sweet titties. It's not going to be good, Joe.
Oh God Almighty! Yeah, my body, my body sucks.
All right,
It's
we'll try it
embarrassing.
during the break, Joe.
I can't work out. I just can't.
We'll try it during the break.
I
Are
like
we done
the-
with the morbid stuff?
Yeah.
Someone is asking me if I went to a body farm. I did not go to a body farm. I read about a body farm. There is a book for you morbid people out there. The book is called
Happy Endings?
Happy Endings, yes. The book is called, I believe, Stiff. Joe, let me tell you about a book I read. It's called Stiff. It's a whole book on what they do with bodies after you die.
Like meaning what they do to cure it for the ground?
Nope. You have no idea what you could do with someone's body after it dies. They actually use them in car crash experiments. You know, we've all seen the car crash dummies. There are people that will write off and allow their dead relatives to be used in car crash experiments. There are some people that are used to try out new makeups after you die.
All right.
Which is creepy for the person that has to put the makeup on the dead person, but they're trying out shit. There are people that will allow your body to be shot at after you die.
Oh, that's a good one. I would donate my
I'm trying to
body for
remember
that.
the rest of them. Body Farm was another one where they, throw you in a field somewhere and see how you rot and stuff so they could, figure out shit. I'm trying to remember. Those were some of the better ones.
What was the makeup one? I don't even get. Would your body even have the same reaction to makeup? After
I don't
you die?
remember anymore, but yeah, something to do with makeup and the body. Yeah.
Or is that for necrophiliacs? This makeup works. This doesn't smear on the corpse. You can dress her up nice and pretty.
Yeah. I got it figured out, by the way.
You got the picture figured out?
No. I'm not even taking a picture, Joe. I'm not even taking a picture. I'm checking my email.
You're just checking your email right
See,
now?
look what I just did for you, Joe.
Okay.
All
I can't see it.
natural,
Is it
laughing,
good?
nice, having a good time. That's the one I'm going to send to everybody today.
Thank you.
We should,
Oh, sorry. I wanted to hear more of what they do to the bodies.
That's all I remember. If anyone else read the book Stiff, maybe they could help me out with a few other things they do with the dead body. Why are we so morbid today?
Would you do any of those?
Anthony's at a funeral, that's why.
Yeah.
That's how I got started.
Would I do any of those? What, when I go?
I would donate my body to one of those. Yeah.
See, I don't really give a crap what happens to my body after I'm done.
Do you believe in heaven and all that shit?
I don't know, man. I think there's... I don't think it's been... We shouldn't maybe go down this road today because we actually have, the big guys coming by today, I hear? The new Archbishop of New York?
Is he?
Or the Cardinal, what is he called?
Oh, we're
Cardinal?
interviewing him, right?
Yeah, right. That we're not allowed on that side of the floor today. There's a whole thing going on.
We can't go over there?
The new Cardinal...
We were told to just not have any shenanigans planned for.
Yeah, that's fine. Of course.
for this
The new
morning.
Cardinal for what? New York City? How far does his power go?
That I'm not sure. I think it's just. I think it's just the New York Cardinal or whatever.
Security is on high alert to keep the O&A crew away from
We're
the
not
new
going to
Cardinal.
fuck with the Cardinal. Jesus.
There was memos and everything. No joke. Right,
Yeah.
Danny? We're not allowed on that side of the building when he comes in another hour or so.
Yeah, I think it actually starts right now. 7th. I think he was.
Is he over there?
He might be. Yeah.
He's
I think it was
being interviewed
7:30
on.
on.
Could we get some of that like God stuff into our lives by just looking at him? What happens?
Dude, I went full-fledged atheist as of like a month ago. I finally just accepted it.
Really?
And it's scaring the shit out of me more than anything.
Really? I like to think that we just haven't. It hasn't been explained properly yet. That's my new thing.
Yeah, that's a nice way to do it.
I'm not a big fan of the organized religion in general.
No.
But I just think there's. I like to think there's something, but we just haven't really explained it yet.
Actually, Norton said something once at the Cellar when I first moved to New York. It was one of the first times I ever met you. You said something that made so much sense, and it freaked me out so bad. Though you were like, "I believe when you die, you just become energy, and you just go into, you release energy like anything that's decomposing wood. You break down, and your energy releases into the soil or whatever, and that was it. And that was the most logical, at that point, the most logical and scientific explanation I had heard of it." As far as sort of finding some sort of medium between a soul and being released from you or whatever, and actually what could happen. And that's what started, or that was one of the things that sparked my atheist route. And now I'm full on just atheist.
Great, because of Jim Norton, you're going to be, you're not going to be able to live in eternity.
I don't think nobody meets Jim and goes, I want to find God. I want to go. Actually, maybe they do.
Or they thank him that they're not me. I don't even know where I stand on God. I'm not an atheist. I'm not an agnostic. But I'm not really. I don't know. I mean, I pray. I don't know.
You don't pray?
I do.
You do?
Nah, not often. But
I do the Om. No, you meditate, Joe?
I don't know.
A little yoga yet?
No yoga.
Did a little yoga.
No yoga.
I like the yoga.
I think I might start. I should do something.
I got this guru. She's like, she was part of the original movement. And that's a story I told, but one yoga session, I found myself on my back with my bare feet on her huge, warm, 70-year-old boobs.
Oh.
It was very comforting.
Was it?
Yeah.
You liked it?
I didn't like it because of a sexual feeling I was getting. It was just very
mothering and nurturing.
It was very nurturing, yeah.
You didn't get turned on a little bit, like in a creepy, dark place?
I was impressed as far as how firm the 70-year-old boobs still were. Very impressed. And they were very warm. Very warm, Joe.
You're kind of fucking making me tingle a little bit right now. I want to feel the 70-year-old.
I got to be honest. It was nice. Like Jimmy's saying, in a nurturing way.
I don't know what's appropriate. Like, I got a Thai massage a while ago.
Yeah.
And that's when you lay on the floor and, Thai massage, like she'll kind of put her foot on your side and stretch your arm. It's really a good massage. And it's not a sensual massage. You're dressed. You actually have on, you have on shorts or sweatpants or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like the moments of body contact, like I'm such a sexual fucking creep. Like I don't know what's appropriate body contact. What is appropriate contact between people that is not sensual, not sexual? It's almost like if she leans over and her breast would touch the back of my arm, I'm like, she means that to happen. That's something. Like,
oh, really?
To get my dick hard. Yeah, I'm such a.
You're just working it the whole time in your head.
Yes, it's like instead of realizing that during during a legitimate massage, occasionally there's going to be a contact that's not sexually intended.
The massage for me, I find it weird that you don't know this person. They're a complete stranger. They come into the room, and next thing you know, they're rubbing you. That's always bizarre to me.
Yeah,
because you can't do that at work. You can't all of a sudden just start touching somebody, right?
Well.
I mean, after a while, maybe you start shaking someone's hand or giving them the hand, chest bump or something. But out of nowhere, like you meet the person and you're pretty much nude, and they're rubbing your entire body for the most part.
Well,
that's very strange to me.
There's an agreement there, though.
Yeah, there's an understanding. I understand. Yeah,
if somebody at work said, "Give me a massage," you give them a fucking massage.
But your space is pretty sacred. You know what I mean. You don't allow many people to move into that space. But as far as getting massage, like go ahead, do whatever you want.
I went one time to one. I mean, they'll just put their hands all over your shit. They don't even, And I got off the bus. I was taking the bus back from Philly one day, and I hadn't showered. I had swamp ass. I just stunk. And I called my buddy up. I go, dude, we're going to the fucking geesh right now. Like, I just got in that evil, like, let's go. And we went in, dude. I took my pants off. I could smell my stink. Ugh. And this chick played with my asshole and beat me off and did all of it like the soldier she was.
She a hooker? I tuned out of that story. I don't want to hear you, Joe.
It was a Yankee Cranky shop, and he wasn't.
He
wasn't properly groomed for it.
But no, here's what it was. Not that I wasn't in listening to it. I looked at the cover of the Daily News. It was Timothy Dolan, who's the new Archbishop.
Right.
And I just was thinking to myself, do you call him father? Like, I don't know exactly what would you call the Archbishop. Would you call him yes, sir, yes, father? I don't know what you'd call him. And then I got brought back into it when Joe goes, I had cranky ass, and she was playing with my ass like a soldier. I'm like, wow, I went away for a second and really missed something.
Yeah. Let's
call him Your Eminence, by the way.
Oh, is it Your Eminence?
Yeah. Really?
Okay.
Let's go to Eric in Jersey. Eric.
Thank you, heathen.
Yeah, they were doing plastic surgery on the bodies, too. Boob jobs and nose jobs and shit.
Oh, they do that, too? Okay.
That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Let me say hi to Josh in Tampa. Josh.
Hey.
Hey.
I had gone for a perfectly legitimate reflexology treatment where they massage your foot and they're able to tell you that you dislocated your shoulder and things like that. Because my wife was reviewing the spa and I fell asleep, and when she woke me up, I had definitely cum in my shorts.
You made cumsies?
Wow.
Yeah.
That reflexology
works.
A
little embarrassing.
What toe did she put the pin in to make that happen? That's fucking worth it. Wow.
Cumsies.
Oh, yeah, we like that term.
That's
here.
great.
One more from, what's your name in Boston?
Elise.
Elise, how are you, Elise?
Good.
Good. What do you got?
Well, I did read that book, Stiff, that you had mentioned.
Yeah.
She actually wrote about basically when you donate your body to science, what are the things that they could possibly do with it? So I actually, if I remember correctly, the families didn't know what the bodies were being used for. They just know that their loved one wanted their body donated to science. So,
is that the deal? So when you, I think something's going around today because I checked out of your phone call for a second. So when you give your relative to science, it's a general thing.
Right.
So you don't really know exactly what they're going to do. So my dad could have been part of some cool thing, maybe.
Right.
God, I want to know what they did to him now.
You hope that that's what it was. You hope it was part of a cool thing.
Right.
You don't want to think that he was just thrown in the trunk because they want to see what happens during damp temperatures so they can check out for murders and stuff. But that's what half those bodies wind up having done to them.
You know, I know. Thank you, Elise. How was yesterday?
Oh, it was very funeral-y.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that funeral-y, to tell you the truth. Be honest with you. Most people were kind of like, relieved.
Well, for the people that don't know, your grandma.
My grandma.
93?
93 years. Passed away the other day. So we had the wake.
And the
funeral. And then the funeral. And, Jesus. It's like 93 years old. I was even joking around once we got back to the house and saying, just goes to show, we don't have much time on this earth. You got to live for the moment. It's 93 years. The last 4 or 5 of those years, by the way, were the decline.
The George Steinbrenner years?
Yeah, the Steinbrenner years. The decline into dementia.
Right.
So it was just kind of like, I have no recollection of my grandmother from about, I guess, the 3 years ago is like the last time I even saw her.
Wow.
And they had, brought her for her 90th birthday or something.
Out of the home for the day?
Out of the home, over to my mom and Sal's house.
Mm-hmm.
And, she had a couple of things to say, but not really.
What were they?
Just kind of sitting around.
Blue, bubble gum.
When are the doughboys coming back from Europe? One of those, moments.
That dementia's a bitch, huh?
Oh. So, but...
Do you think it's a bitch for them, though?
I don't know.
For real?
I don't know, because when you have a lucid moment, do you think like, oh, my God, this sucks?
Yeah.
I'm going to go back into, flowers for Algernon in a second.
Yeah, but then you do, and then you don't remember that you had that nice lucid moment.
Exactly. So who knows? And then, she just had an old age.
She was never the help me.
Old age.
She wasn't the help me woman, was she?
No, not at all.
Because when the famous accident occurred in my life, and my mom was in like a home for a little while to recuperate, There were the help me women around the hallways. They'd sit outside.
Oh, no.
I laugh because I'm uncomfortable. I just want people to understand that. Sometimes I laugh because I really enjoy what I'm about to say. But, but in this case, I'm a little uncomfortable. But they're the ones that sit in their wheelchair. They're older than dirt. When you start asking how old some of these people are, you're amazed. Oh, she's 105. She's 108. What?
Yeah.
And anyways, she's sitting outside her room in her wheelchair, and you walk by because you're going to see in my case, my mom, and all of a sudden they grab on with that hand, with that grip, that
claw,
the kung fu grip, and they just start screaming, "Help me! Help me!" And then like the people that work there are like, don't pay attention to her, and they almost slap her hand off.
Help!
Right.
Help!
Shut it.
And then you feel guilt, so you try to have a normal what can I help you with?
Oh,
and it's just like you were, it's dementia and it's nonsense, and there's nothing you could do. There's nothing anyone
my
can do.
husband, he's at the cemetery.
Right.
What do that was one thing, because like my grandfather, he died I think we figured out 30 years ago.
Jeez.
Or something. And she would kind of ask, where's my husband? Where is Joe? Where's my husband?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's
he's long gone.
He's residing in the ditch that you're going to be next to in no time.
let me teach you something about the next to you thing.
Oh yeah,
it's on top of.
Oh yeah, there are two ways to do it.
When you go to a cemetery, it looks all nice. Oh, there's Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
No, Grandpa usually dies first, so he's below Grandma.
They stack them.
They stack those coffins.
Stack them
They
up.
stack the coffins. Yes.
That's fantastic. My God.
But you guys had it more as a celebration of her life, right?
Exactly. It was one of those things that wasn't any, oh my God.
Was it your mom's mom?
None of that stuff. Yeah.
Was she cool?
Oh, yeah. She was cool. The whole family.
Just losing
was
your mom or your dad's a little weird. I would imagine, no matter how old you are.
And they were saying, in a way, relief.
Yeah.
Because all they were doing was, making trips to the old folks' home and doing laundry and just, doing things.
Yeah.
It's like a full-time job. So that was that. We then go back to the house for the let's just hang out because somebody died party.
And you don't want to be the first to leave that party.
No,
All right, well, I got to go.
Yeah, well, look at the time. Yeah.
Because you got to figure out how much time. I think
picture.
I think I could do 3 hours.
I twittered the old Ginzo.
Oh, nice. Look at that. You got the wine.
Yeah, that was a little early on.
Uh-huh.
And then more food comes out. And
very nice.
That was good, though. It was a good excuse for a nooner.
I sent you a text. I sent you a text. What did I write? I was trying to do a wise guy bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to do a wise guy bit through text messaging.
Yeah, did you have any
That's what I was getting at, but I'm like, man, I don't know if he's going to understand that. So then I had to write wise guy accent in parentheses.
Yeah, you had a direction to your Twitter.
I'm trying to do an audio bit through a text, making up some whacked out Italian dish.
The church portion is the most, kind of thing. So we go into the church, and then it's one of these, big Catholic send-offs.
Mm-hmm.
So the priest is up there, and he's talking, and I'm sitting next to my Uncle Joe, and we're just like...
A lot of Joes in your family.
A lot of Joes, yeah. So Paulies and Petey's.
And Anthony's.
Joes and Anthony's are all our family. And it was just like, we're talking, going, this is sci-fi fantasy. This whole Jesus thing, where they're talking about how, she is now with Jesus, who rose from the dead, and I'm like, it's zombie Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It's zombie Jesus, and he rose, and then they tell other stories from the Bible, and you're like, this is just some fantasy world stuff that...
We had a whole discussion about that on yesterday's show with Bill Donahue.
Oh, yeah.
The storytelling, and there might be some problems because the stories were handed down for 60 years before they started actually writing the stories.
Yeah, how accurate.
It was the greatest game of telephone ever.
Oh.
How accurate could you be 60 years later telling a story?
Then I guess there's supposed to be some divine, intervention that makes it all right and makes it the way it really is, and the story is accurate. But you're just like, what? I'm listening, going, what? Just stop. Just stop. Right now, Francis is with Jesus.
Jesus.
And he's taking the incense thing and swinging it around the coffin. There's smoke coming out. You're like, what is that? What is this, a magic trick? What are you going to do?
It's the Prestige.
Pull her out alive? The Prestige. Right. He was performing the Prestige. You can't do it. He used a bloody double. Yeah, they do all that, and then the drive to the cemetery. It's just the stress of keeping in line and not losing the hearse.
Oh, no kidding.
It's like, well, I'm going through red lights.
It's very stressful.
And for me, going through red lights, I was really going through red lights.
For real. Well, did you have the cops and stuff? You had a cop. They usually give a cop or two for those for every funeral now.
The hearse had like the flashing lights on the front now.
Dude, one of my cousins almost got killed going to the cemetery for my grandma's funeral. Almost got T-boned because just like you were saying, you're like, the laws don't apply to me today. I got my high beams on.
Right.
And so you're going through the red lights.
Someone died. I'm above the law.
So you're going through the red lights, right?
Yeah.
Most people would still look like, well, this is a little crazy. It's the middle of the day. I'm going through red lights, and it's pretty busy where we live, right?
Yeah.
Man, my cousin was in front of me, and obviously, like, just assuming everyone knows I'm just going through red lights, high beams, and man, he by this much getting T-boned. Meaning another 3 days of walking around like zombies.
Yeah, right? It's just one of those situations where you just, oh, God, I don't want to deal with this. Mm-hmm. And then the cemetery portion of it.
Oh, could you talk about that? Because we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, what?
Just your observations.
Well,
you're good like me with this stuff.
It's so morbid.
Thank you.
It's just morbid.
Did you all get a flower?
Yes, we got the flower. But even though it's the morbidity started before that. They hold you up for a little while I guess they prepare the grounds so it doesn't look like it's just a hole in the ground that Granny's getting dumped into.
Yeah, they
put the green AstroTurf over the dirt. There's like a big pile of dirt, but they put like this green AstroTurf over it. You're not going to notice there's a big mound of dirt there that's going to be shoveled in by the ghouls that work there.
Well,
in their utility uniforms.
Basically, they're getting window treatments for the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the ghouls are usually Mexicans. We were discussing this yesterday.
Yeah. They're day laborers, it looks like.
Yes.
And then they put the wooden planks around it and cover that with the AstroTurf and tell you to be careful when you throw the rows in because, boy, you sure don't want to fall into the hole. No. That can be embarrassing. But the worst part was just off of a few tombstones down was some gentleman who had to be perhaps in his 50s. And he was kneeling down in front of this little headstone with Mylar balloons that were in the ground. And he's wiping things away and talking. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this morbid? Obviously, there's some young dead person that this, maybe a father or something. I don't know. But I'm just watching this going, why am I putting myself through this depression?
Yeah.
To see that. It's not even it wasn't even grandma going in. That was fine. She's 93 years old. But then you just got to watch these people mourning. I don't want to say it. But the best part about the cemetery was that my navigation system has every road in Pine Lawn.
Really?
Yeah. So I was able to get the F out of there because you could get lost in there driving around. The roads are ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And, I flipped that nav on and was just out of there lickety-split.
I'm out of here.
The second that rose was thrown down on that coffin, I was like, later, Granny.
See you later. Thanks for the good times.
That's it.